Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, the orgy ends, we line our purses with dog fur, and we pack our bee bags for the future. It's episode 50 of the KickCast. Find out what happens to my cupcake. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, it is time for another episode of the KickCast, the podcast where we go out and find cool projects and let you know if you should backtrack or sack them. I am Ktdata, one of your hosts, and joining me is a man who is so amazing that, put together for, I couldn't ask for a better co-host for episode 50 of the KickCast other than the 25, and I'm the other 25 to great 50, the one and only Drew Tyler. How are you doing today, man?
We're both youngins, 25. I'm doing good. I'm glad. I always love to hear how you introduce me. That's just fun. I'm excited. Let's do this.
I have to outdo Jeff because he's always like thinking of all these crazy English words to describe you. So I gotta one up him.
I am now number 25.
Yeah. So so if you guys have never seen the show, first of all, welcome to the show, and it is our 50th episode. And I thought for episode 50, Drew, we should have cake or some kind of celebratory thing. So
absolutely,
I have a green cupcake with a green turtle on there.
Oh, I like the turtle. Yeah, that's nice.
So
that's nice.
It matches our nice 50th lower thirds on there.
See, I didn't go for color coding. I have a half. This is 50%. 50% of a zucchini bread, chocolate zucchini bread with one candle.
Where's the other? Oh. Did you make a wish?
50 more.
Yep. My question is where's the other 50%?
I have 3 little girls and they love chocolate bread.
Sure. Are you sure it's not just digesting in your stomach right now, Drew?
Probably. My wife makes 4 mini loaves every time she makes this stuff, and they disappear. We don't even have to bag it for the next day because they just go.
That's amazing. All right.
Delicious. So
while we start this cake and I smell it, let's jump into some news before we go into the projects. And this is always great. So, Drew, have you ever heard of donorschoose.org?
I had heard of it just briefly as one of those places where you could say, here's what I need. And then people who have money just rolling around in their pockets, I guess, can say, oh, I'll help you out with that.
Yeah.
Right? And that, to me, has always been an exciting option. Mm-hmm. And I just don't know any of those people.
Yeah, and one of the greatest things about Donors Choose is, you find a lot of schools out there. And, it's just teachers asking for basic supplies to, get the school you're going.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And our friends at Google, or our overlords at Google, shall I say, they decide, let's jump in on this crowdfunding. So what they do is they actually went out and donated $1 million.
Wow.
To the Los Angeles Unified School District.
That's amazing.
To, help out with supplies and everything. So I think this is awesome.
What a bonus too, to just have somebody from Google kind of, I would say trolling along, but going along and just going, I could fund that. We could fund that. And to have it go to such a good cause, especially a school district.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful.
You can hear some of these awesome projects. Like they are bird guides with binoculars for for Mrs. Vibbert's students on there so they can go bird watching. That was kind of cool.
That's cool.
A bilingual classroom library for Mrs. Perez's students. That is way cool. Bilingual libraries, because teachers barely have money to buy, just buy books normally. So it's harder if they got to buy double those amount.
And often it surprises me how much young schools, elementary schools. It surprised me how much they either have to rely on students, parents, or themselves to come up with for their own classrooms.
Yeah, and you're teaching them students who have to pay for you to be there.
Yes.
and you still have struggles finding right budgets for everything.
Yeah. So this is amazing for them to be able to, and I really think Donors Choose is a great place, and they probably had some feedback, but to have somebody come in and go, yep, it's like Oprah's show, and you get your wish, and you get your wish, and what a great company to do that.
So make sure you guys go check that out. Even if you can't donate $1 million like Google does, go help out a school teacher. I know a lot of friends who are school teachers, and they're like, you'd be surprised what teachers do to kind of make sure all the kids have what they need to learn. So up on you, Google, and everybody go donate at Donors Choose. on there. All right, so our next news, actually, Drew,
Yes.
is this wonderful thing. So remember a couple,
I think this is on the
episodes-
other spectrum of wholesomeness, by
Yes.
the way.
This is it's full wholesome fun. So remember a couple episodes ago, Drew.
It wasn't too long ago.
I talked to you about Jewel State, Kaylee from Firefly.
Firefly, right.
And how she was planning on having an orgy in a
And
small town.
This was only episode 47, I think. So this was not more than
3 episodes ago.
6 weeks ago.
And you gave me this weird look. You're
Yeah.
like, what? I'm like, dude, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be strike it out of the park.
It's true.
And guess what? I was right. Because not only did they fund their $70,000 on there.
I love your lower third. Orgy funds.
Yes.
It's a movie, folks.
It's a movie. So if you guys haven't seen it, How to Plan an Orgy in a Small Town is actually a comedy movie about friends planning an orgy, and in reality it's just about, people accepting themselves for whatever they are. It has some amazing actors in it and whatnot.
This guy's done some other stuff.
Yeah, he
Sex After Kids, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and like his whole goal was he needed the money because he was getting some from Canadian fund, but they only fund part of your production, so you have to go find out the rest. So he went out and tried to find out the rest, and he's a huge crowdfunding fan, might I add. He loves doing it. Yeah, this is not his first time doing it. And their goal was $70,000, but they're like, in reality, we need about $100,000 to make it, but we wanted to set the,
get
good
something.
goal. So they almost doubled it at $122,000, $123,000 Canadian on there. I am proud to say I'm part of that total right there. So
you threw some dough in,
yes,
huh?
I told you I would.
Yeah, you did.
And this is one of the coolest things. So everybody's like, well, how in the world did they fund? Well, we all know that Kaylee was on Firefly, and I guess she had connections, or Germany had connections, because they had like Firefly bonus after bonus after bonus on there.
Which just brought the people, kept on coming.
The fans, just came out. I mean,
no pun intended.
So, there was a Serenity CD that was $225 that sold out. There's only one of those. This was a cool one. They for $250 Canadian dollars, they would say a name within the movie for you. So, we could have snuck the KickCast in there if I wasn't cheap.
Yeah, I don't think you put $250 on that.
Other things, they had Serenity black and white caricatures that was signed by all the cast and stuff. That went quick.
She is connected.
Yeah, I mean, like, this was awesome. I mean, one of them, if I lived in Canada, I would have done this. But you could have bought and had dinner with Kaylee herself, Jewel State, while they're in Vancouver. That would have been awesome. Because not only is she a great actor and she's really funny on Twitter, my dad, you should follow her on Twitter. She is also a foodie, and she writes food blogs that are just hilarious. So I just honestly think she's a cool person to hang out with on there. And they this is a great way of planning and keeping excitement about a project too, because during the whole time they would be, all right, if we get to this much, we're going to do one. Like, they made a Jewish guy eat a ham sandwich.
I missed that one. I was just happy about their final run.
Oh yeah, and Drew's favorite apparently, because he's the one who put this in the news. My dad.
This is news right here.
They were like, if we reach 120,000 before the end of the thing, we are going to do a naked fun run.
Like, not the cast.
Yeah, not the cast.
The
just
old
the producers
guys that are putting it all together.
So we got 5 guys of various shapes and sizes running around naked in the middle of the night. That's awesome.
See, to me, that right there is news.
And that's dedication to your craft, because that's the guy who's creating it. He's the one in the middle, and was like, all right, let's do this. He shaved his beard. Like, one of the goals was, like, he had this like epic beard, and he said, I'll have my, and not only did he shave it, he had his kid shave it for him.
Oh wow!
On video, they posted it up. I mean, this is
dangerous.
This is seriously how you should do a project, especially if it's in the long run. Keep having these micro goals, keep people engaged, having them share and everything. I think this is how you should do it. And you found everything. So hooray for orgies in small towns. And
well done.
I cannot wait to see it. All right. Our final piece of news is that in the Scandinavias and in the Ireland, in Europe, all those Europe towns, Kickstarter is now available.
Oh, so we've opened it up to a couple more. So Scandinavian, Ireland, jump on ship.
Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, and Ireland. You guys are, good to go. I mean, we could get the next Lego from these kind of people, you know. And of course, they're doing it in the same way they've done every other place. They're giving you a whole month to submit your projects, tweak them, get them ready to go before they launch on there. It's not going to be specific. It's just going to be on the Kickstarter side again, and you can filter down by locations on there when you do your search. They suggest that you use English somewhere in there, and you can pledge with Visa, MasterCard, or American Express.
They don't have a Scandinavian Express?
I guess not. And of course, they charge a 5% fee plus payment processing and, you know, some taxes and all that good stuff. But you always should be planning on all that stuff when you're
right. You gotta put that in there.
Yeah. So always plan for that, because people always forget distribution, which is a big thing. I mean, lots and lots of distribution on there. You'll find out that, you know, we just got back from Comic-Con. I forgot. Yeah, we got back from Comic-Con. And we're gonna have a special Comic-Con episode that's gonna get published.
Yes,
it's gonna be 50.
yes. I think we're calling it 49.5, or is it gonna be 50.5?
It's gonna be 50.5.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I was debating. I'm like, do I do it now or later? And I think it works better as 50.5. You'll see some cool projects they'll post up. Some of them I haven't even launched. Most of them are like, really? Yeah, we're gonna launch like October. So,
and then one of them that we talked to launched last year, December, and we just did a follow up kind of with the creator and talked to him.
So you know, make sure you guys pay attention to that. That's gonna be great. But, you know, again, it's just stuff to plan for. Plan for distribution, plan for taxes. Everybody forgets about taxes.
Yep.
Go talk to a, tech specialist. Why can't I remember? Accountant.
Yes.
Tax accountant. Not just any. I've discovered this. Some accountants hate doing taxes.
I'm not surprised. I hate doing my own taxes.
So talk to the right kind of accountant, or they'll be like, I don't know. Guy. Yeah, like I knew an accountant. He's like, I don't know. I have my wife do my taxes. I hate doing them.
I'll balance your books, but somebody else tells you how much you owe.
Yeah. All right. All right. So before we jump into our projects, there's a quickie, Drew, that you wanted to mention in our projects, and that would be.
It has to be a quickie because they're almost done. Like they're funded. This is a local one, and it's exciting. I fell in love with it right away, and I think. Because it only has like 30 hours to go as of a recording of this show, if you get this in the next day, jump on there and grab one of these, because this is pretty amazing. They've gone 6 times over their goal. The goal was 100,000. They've hit 600,000. They've got 5,600 backers, 5,700 backers. Now, what is it, you ask? A Bluetooth padlock. I didn't even know I needed this, but then I watched the video and I was like, of course. Of course. So it's called the No Key. Get it? No Key by Fuse Designs. They're actually right here out of Utah. And again,
actually pretty near where I work.
In Draper, Utah.
Yep.
But here's the thing. This is one time that I actually watched a video and it answered every one of my questions in the short amount of time that the video was. And I didn't even need to scroll through like for additional information. It answered everything, showed off everything beautifully. This was a nice video. This
3-minute video covered everything. That's how you do a video.
Everything. Perfect. So really quick, Bluetooth padlock, jump on there, check it out. My favorite part was the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this is so brilliant. And then I go, okay, what happens if your phone is dead at the end of the day and you can't unlock your bike from the bike rack because your phone's dead? They put in a, what do they call it? A click key? What are they calling that?
Quick click access.
Quick click access. So you can put a code into it with where you click the padlock down, and if you do short, short, long, 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 short, short, or one of those types of codes, it will also unlock, which was amazing. And then even after that, I was like, okay, fine. What happens when the battery inside of the No Key dies? And again, it's on you. You have to use your phone to unlock it so you can get into the battery compartment. But what if it's dead and it's locked? How do you open it up? They thought of that too. There's this thing on the side that you can peel off a little silicone plate, because this is like waterproof, and you just touch a battery to that, and it kind of jump starts it. It's like a jumper cable just to get back inside so you can run with it. Honestly, that's all the time I'm going to spend on it. But if you're in the next 30 hours, jump on there and back that sucker, because this is just brilliant. I need more of this in my life.
I love it, and it just goes back to what I told you. I think it was last episode, dude. This is how I plan projects. You just go back to the drawing board. Can I add Bluetooth to this? Can I add Bluetooth to this?
Yep, that's the answer for everything.
Yes, you see right there, Bluetooth. Bam.
I'm looking around. I've got a piano lamp. Does it need Bluetooth? My piano needs Bluetooth.
No, I think your metronome needs Bluetooth.
Yes.
So that way you can track what kind of songs you've been playing and seeing if you're keeping on key, because then You have the metronome going, the microphone going on this phone, and then while you're playing, the phone can hear both and tell you if you're on time or not. Think about it. Somebody can take that.
That's a freebie.
Yeah,
that's a freebie.
Yeah, perfect. See, perfect. Bluetooth.
All right, let's move on to the good stuff now because you found a doozy of a project.
I thought of you, Drew, because
it floored me.
I know you have a dog, and I know you love it because you spend lots of money on your dog. On that, how would your wife feel if you decided to just take the fur off your dog and make a purse out of it?
I think she'd be a little creeped out.
Just like for
I love my dog.
Your 50th anniversary or whatever.
Hey,
like,
honey, I saved some of Minnie's fur the last time she was groomed, and here, look, I weaved it into a purse. No.
Yes. So this is a new deluxe line of purses. It's called For You by Doris, and it is literally it is a purse made out of dog fur.
Oh my gosh!
And she promises that it's sterile and clean, and you're not going to get any diseases from it.
She emphasizes that a lot. It's a very sterile process.
Yes. And all this fur, she doesn't steal it from dogs that are generously donated.
She's not
on there,
ripping hair off of dogs on the street. Yeah. Oh, there's a nice golden doodle. Get over here.
Yeah. And my question, Drew, is how much would you pay for one of these beautiful handmade purses?
And the interesting thing here, I believe she turns the groomed hair into yarn.
Yes.
For this, which is a lot of work.
Into dog thread. And
yeah. I probably would give her well, she's a fashion lady, so I'm gonna bump it up to $120.
Oh, just multiply that by about 10. You got it. $1,000
for to
get a one of a kind custom made fur purse. Isn't that amazing?
With a name like For You, we rarely make fun of projects, and so I say good on her for putting this together.
For You by Doris,
chasing her dream.
Yes,
but as the chat room has said, she may have got this idea from North Korea.
I gotta give her, some, credit that some of this money is actually going to the Humane Society.
This is true. A good point.
Good.
A good point.
What I don't understand is if you look at her project right here, she has this giant
is it
recycling thing. I don't understand. None of this goes back to the dog. That's how recycling works. It's a full cycle. How is this going? Like, are you gonna bury the purse for it to go back to the dog? I'm confused.
Feed the dog. The dog's gonna eat the purse.
I'm just so confused on how that completes the cycle right there. Because that's the whole point of recycling.
Because I think only doing first sterilized woven. Oh, maybe the cycle is from the Humane Society. There you go. That's how it gets back. It's just not the same dog.
Yeah. So this launched August 30th. She has 9 backers and $455 with 43 days ago.
And she's 3 months in, or 3 weeks in.
Yeah. So do I even have to ask her? Is this a backtrack or sack?
Okay, it's a sack for me, but only because I don't need a purse. That's all. If I had a need.
Just because you didn't need a purse. So if somebody actually backed this and gave it to you,
yeah, I'd sport this. I'd be like, check it out. You like that? That's not Naga hide. No. That's golden doodle.
Yeah, for me, it's a sack too. I mean, she's probably gotten crazy amount of publicity, but only 9 backers. Like I said, all for the Humane Society stuff, but this, I really don't know anybody who'd want a purse made out of their dog's hair.
No. There are a lot of things that I would love, and yeah.
All right, so that was the For You by Doris. Oh, yeah. I think you have to say it like that. For You by Doris. Anyways, so
it is Fashion Week.
Yeah, speaking of things that Drew really needs, Drew. I think, Drew, you really need a mobile bartending kit. That totally,
yes,
totally speaks and says Drew Tyler on there.
Yeah, because I've never really been to a bar. I don't need a bartending bag. What do you even put in a bartending bag? You're like, do you put drink bottles in and drink cups? I realize that they do have strainers and shakers and this is a world I don't know.
Bartending, mixology, or as these guys call it, coctology.
That's different.
It's crazy. It's like chemistry.
Are they really calling it the bee bag? Did they call it that, or is that your term?
No, they're calling it the bee bag. It says it on the site. All right, so here's the bee bag, And it is a bag that's supposed to hold bartending supplies in a neat and organized fashion so you can go from location to location. Because what's happening now is there's kind of a resurgence of, having craft cocktails out where bartenders, are starting to make a name and they'll travel from one location to another location on that. And
wait, like a traveling salesman, like I don't have my whatever. What traveling salesmen used to sell brooms and brushes and stuff, and now they're gonna come to your door with a bar.
No, they're not gonna come to your door. They're gonna go to different locations. But sometimes there's a lot of things that people don't know about, like all the tools in here. Like this is why I love learning more about mixology and stuff. Is just all the different tools that are in there. And what's even cool is these dividers that you see in here. That was a Kickstarter project that turned into a real company. So
that is cool.
So they teamed up with Trek Pack. I remember Trek Pack when they were on Kickstarter trying to get money for them on there, and I kind of want these in my Pelican cases because what's cool is the system is modular and it has little U-shaped pins that you put together to hold the pack to foam things together. It's great, great idea. But they're gonna have it in here, and you can see in the picture that it can hold up to 8 bottles of alcohol or your metal tumbler and stuff on there.
Can you use it as a carry-on?
I think you can. It's smaller. It's small enough. Probably not with the booze on it, but you can use it.
Sir, can I see inside of your bag? Sure. I got everything here to make a cocktail or a Molotov cocktail, whatever you want.
But yeah, so the thing about bartending is that there's a lot of different tools. You have different kind of strainers. You have different kinds of you have long spoons for all the glasses. You have a muddler for your mojitos to break down the mint leaves while you're putting the tequila and everything into it.
A muddler for your mojito. This is a world I do not know.
It is an amazing world. Like I mean, when I started looking into it, it's crazy. I mean, there are high end bars out there that their signature is that they chip ice off a block when you order things. So they'll take a Collins glass or something and just chip ice off of it, and that's kind of their signature style, and they'll serve it to you on the rocks.
Wow. For me, when I'm mixing drinks, it is my sweet little girl wants some root beer. I'm gonna cut it with some water so that she doesn't get as hyper as she would otherwise. That's a mixed drink for me. Honey, you want a soft drink? Here you go. Yeah. And I just cut it with some water.
I mean, I'm not lying. There are things that you can do to make a cocktail taste better. I mean, because these high-end places, your lemonade, it has to be squeezed day of or it's not going to taste right. This amazing thing. So that way you can bring your tools that you love to different places. And, if you're one of those like Coyote Ugly girls who can flip the tumbler and stuff, you can have your weighted tumbler that way. So that way you can come put it together. It's I love this idea.
The bee bag.
And like they said, they built it to last, and made it.
It looks good.
It makes it durable on there. And so, I don't know. What do you think, Drew?
It looks fantastic. It looks wonderful. I think as a project, in like the old, whole scheme of project, functional, great design, solid idea. Not for me, obviously, because I don't even know difference.
Just make virgin versions of all these drinks.
There you go. Yeah. Now that I could do. That I could totally get up behind. As a project, they're well on their way. They've got almost a sixth of what they need.
Yeah, and good video too.
Only 18 backers got them up to $6,000. So,
because you want to know how much one of these will cost you?
That's a good question.
So early bird reward to get one of these is $300. $350 is the regular one. It comes with the inserts and everything. My favorite one that they're offering is $549. Comes fully stocked with all the tools and stuff. And
I was going to say, is it stocked? That's the stocked one.
So I mean, it comes with your conical strainer, your Hawthorne strainer, your julep strainer, your bar spoon, your muddler, your Lewis bag.
Your jigger. Don't forget your jigger.
Dude, do you know what a jigger is?
No clue.
So a jigger is actually one side is 2 ounces, on the other side is 1 ounce, and 1 ounce is equivalent to a shot. So when you're actually making drinks, depending on how much you need to put in, you can just measure your jigger. You pour it in, and then you just dump the jigger into your shaker or your glass.
Learn something new every day.
I'm telling you, I studied a lot on like mixology and stuff because it fascinates me. It's chemistry to me in my mind.
Well, for you, I'm sure that this is a back. Yes.
Yes, this one's back. I love it. Like
no surprise there.
Because I love the idea. They've thought it out. The only thing I'm a little worried about is they kind of have a really aggressive deadline. December 2014 is when they're saying they're going to deliver it.
Well, have they designed? I mean, like, where are they at in the process? What are they?
I think they're ready to go for production. They're ready to go. Everything's set, and they're actually letting people vote for some of the things that they're going to put together on there. So
Oh, okay. And it's made in the U.S. I know that I heard that they're putting everything out here in the U.S. So that probably could be done that fast.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, because they're ready to sign off on the final sample. They're gonna do that in October. All those materials have been sourced, and they're just ready to get that shipped over and
that is
production.
aggressive.
Man, that's great. And I'm just saying, it's a good looking bag,
Yep.
and it's functional as in terms of a bartender. And and hey, say what you want, bartenders make a lot of money.
Yes, they do. This guy though, right here in the second picture where they show the husky and they've got like the tool bag, the actual like workman's tool bag with all of the gear.
So they
on
actually tried that before, and they're like, it doesn't work that well.
I was gonna say that's my style. I'll do that for $40. I'll back that. I don't need a $300 bag to carry all my stuff, but I do love the form and function of this bag. Is they open it up in the video where they show all the different places that they put all the tools. I have a friend that does a lot of like traveling cook things. Like he has that type of stuff where he's
you can convert this into a chef's bag.
Chef's bag, right? And so, but he also mixes drinks. So I bet he would love something like this. Is it $300 worth?
I think if it lasts, I think it's worth it.
It is an investment, and if it lasts, and if you are a traveler and they make that much money, then that is a good price point. So for me, I'm tracking your back. How's that?
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, I thought I'd be crazy to ever buy a bag that expensive. I bought a laptop bag for that much. I love it, and I don't think I'd ever
really.
Yeah, because I got so sick of the cheap ones that I would buy for like $30-$40. They'd fall apart after like a year. I mean, because literally one of those bags I took to a trip overseas, I got off the plane and it fell apart on me. So
I could do like $99 for a backpack, and it lasts me a year and a half, 2 years, and that's fine. Then I get bored of it and I want something new. But you've actually put nearly that much onto a wow.
Granted, some of it was from Amazon credits and whatnot, but yeah,
still you did it. You did it.
Yeah, and I love it. So this is definitely a back for me.
There's the B bag.
All right, Drew. So this. Okay, so we've covered something that I'm kind of passionate about. And so our next project is something that I'd say you're probably more passionate about than I am. And
I dig it. I totally
about
dig it.
art. So tell everybody about our next project.
So the one that I picked to close out the show is called Tagged Mobile. That's tagged without the E and with an apostrophe, but I don't think the apostrophe is even in the right place. So Tagged Mobile is essentially an app that celebrates street art. And so these guys are looking for $14,000. They've got another almost 2 months to go on this campaign. But the idea is that the project creator loves art and loves to see the street art that's in his hometown. What do you say? It was Pennsylvania, North Carolina. Like it's not where you would expect
North Carolina.
Street art. Yeah, North Carolina. So you would expect street art to be New York, California, LA, like these things. But he said he loves the street art that he sees, but he wants an app to kind of celebrate that. And so this app will allow users to take a picture in the app and then geotag it, kind of always documenting that piece of art in that space and in that time. So then you can search their city and discover your city, discover where the best art is, or where it was, because it's probably going to get painted over at some point. So for me, kind of cool because I do appreciate some good street art. When I was like yay tall, I fancied myself as a tagger, yet I never tagged anything. I used sidewalk chalk. I used sidewalk chalk once, but I do remember thinking, how cool would this be? But I just wasn't ballsy enough to like sneak out at night and do any of that stuff. So
lies. There's probably tons of things, and you're just plausible deniability.
Yep, there you go. But I think the idea. And again, it's like an Instagram, but with a specific purpose, just nothing but street art, and it gets tagged and geotagged so that you can flip through it and say, oh, I know that bench or I know that park, and that's a really cool piece. I got to see it, even if you didn't. So for me, I think it's really fun. The project, of course, being an app, not a whole lot of perks or tiers to give away. So the tiers that he's come up with are basically help us out, pitching $6, $11, $25, and what you get are sticker packs, button packs, some T-shirts, swag type of stuff, different kinds of sweatshirts, which I think is really cool. And then most of those tiers give you early beta access to the app. Again, for an app, I don't know, they're kind of hard to back because there's not a whole lot that you can give to people except for the swaggy items. But I think for me, I love geotagging good street art. I guess I think I like that idea. And it could be done with probably another app. I believe at this point he's got it all dreamed up, but nobody to develop it. Or maybe he does say that he's found several developers. He's just got to pick one, right?
Yeah.
So he's close.
Yeah, and this is where I'm a little more eerie about it these days. I've grown to be a little bit more cautious about things, is because this is still just an idea. It's a fancy looking idea where he's, added graphics and stuff to it, but he's not a developer himself. He's a graphic designer. He'll tell you that on there, and he's still, there's a lot of questions. He doesn't have any technical aspects on this. He just says for your phone, and in the pictures we see in iPhone, so assuming it's iOS, but what about Android on there? And how's he going to deliver? Is this app going to be free? Is it going to be paid? Those details aren't taken, because if you're going to have it paid, that's a little much,
right?
To kind of get people just to start using your app and posting it on there. What's his timeline? There's no timeline on here, because if you notice, there's a part of his project where it kind of talks about the perks and everything, and then it just goes randomly off on a tangent talking about different artists and stuff, but no plans on what his development project is going to be. And oh crap, I just dropped the...
We're still in the air though.
My cake just dropped all over the floor. Sad.
Would you like mine? But you're right. There is a moment here where he kind of goes through everything, and yet you get to meet an artist. You get to see some of the cool art. He has this kind of theme running through the project. Art is everywhere, but there is this missing a bit of explaining, like how long is it going to take? What's the run up? About all you get is the money is going to be used to pay for the development. He knows that dev is going to cost something.
Yeah, there's no out deadline on when it's going to be due, I think, because he puts it at, what did he put this at? December 2014. That's like 3 months away.
Which, like you said, he's got a couple of devs, developing teams or companies that he's looked at. He's got a short list, as he calls it.
So yeah, this worries me. Is it ends in November, as I have frosting all over myself,
and yet it's going to deliver in December.
That's a real quick turnaround time. So I'm a little worried about that.
But then again, the app sounds pretty simple, unlike any other social network, which there's a lot of backends that exist to just create a social network on something. He's looking for something that'll tag the artist of the art, so you can search by either artist or that, and then geotag by location. So that's not... he doesn't even have something where he wants you to be able to purchase prints of your favorite wall, which that would be cool. Or make a wallpaper on my laptop. I like the idea, like where he's going.
I just wish I want to see it happen. Yeah, for me, it's a track, because I just wish it was a little bit more planned out and formed as a project.
Right. That would be more convincing. Yeah. And so for me, it's one of those. Am I willing to take a risk for $11 to get early beta access and to help this guy out? Yeah, I'm in it for that. So for me, it's a back at that low level. I'm not so gung ho about it that I'm gonna throw $50 and be like, sure, send me a swag bag with it. So that's where I'm at on it. I'm a low back.
It's a low back.
Can we do that?
Yes, I don't know. You just said low back, and you were talking about short and longs, and we were talking about orgies earlier. So I don't know what a low back. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
But you got to show this picture up at the very bottom where he has the about me, because this really cracked me up. Can you throw that up there?
Yeah.
It has this picture of him saying, "Please donate," but the "please do" is in white and Nate is in black, and so it's "please donate." It's screen art. Like, it looks like it's painted on a wall. I don't know if it is photoshopped or not, but it basically says the image above should read, "Please donate." Nate, sorry for the confusion, because it reads, "Please do Nate." And I think that was funny. Anyway, I'm in it. I'm putting some skin in the game.
All right. So, and that's our last project today. And sad, if you guys look, my poor cupcake.
Your turtle?
Yeah. Well, I took the turtle off, but my poor cupcake is like, I have frosting all on the floor that I need to clean up now, and on my exercise ball.
I did not eat my 50% as much as I wanted to, but I nibbled on it in the show.
So I think I'm gonna take a bite before I drop this again and totally ruin it on there.
Hey.
So
let's cheers.
Cheers to 50, and for 50 plus more, man.
Yep. There you go.
All right. I gotta probably take some of the wrapper off too before I'm sad now. All right. All right, guys. As we stuff ourselves full of food, if you like watching us eat, or just me eat, and there's a cute girl on stream,
yeah, that's a good show.
Make sure you guys check out the Noms podcast with Jane and I.
Is this every alternate Tuesday that we're not on?
Yeah, so when the KickCast is not on, that's on, so you can hear us talk about food. Our last one that's going up is going to be named brand versus store brand white grape juice, and I actually still have a fake Girl Scout cookies.
Nice.
That's a show. Yeah, make sure you guys check it out. If you have any suggestions for projects and stuff, let us know. KickCast at ktdata.net or on our social media accounts, facebook.com/KickCast or at KickCast on Twitter, or straight to us at Night20 for Drew or
Get me.
at KTData for me on there. And if you want to watch us live, we recorded a little bit early today. Thank you for Dre Bay 4T.
No, that's Dr. Beat.
Dr. Beat.
I know it looks like Dre Bay, but you have to read it all elite.
It sounds cooler as Dre Bay.
Yeah.
Dre Bay.
Yeah,
Dr.
join us in the chat room anytime.
Thanks for joining us in the chat room. We appreciate it. We, like I said, recorded a little bit early, but we will be back to our regular Tuesday next episode, which is September 30th, 2014.
And one more thing, if you are in the Ogden area next Wednesday, so a week from this Wednesday, I'm actually teaching a class during the Weber State Tech Expo about intro to podcasting.
Ooh, fancy. Are you going to show us on there?
I am. The whole thing's going to be how to be like us. I'm sorry you're out of town. I totally would have you come up and do it.
Oh, that would have been great. So you'll have to let me know how that turns out. So thank you guys. If you were like, oh, where do I go back tagged, or where do I go get myself a UFur on there, just check out our show notes at kickcast.net. Drew, thank you for, showing up early and doing this kind of late on there, and now I'm on a sugar high. I appreciate it, man.
Hopefully that gets you through the night. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
On there, and we will see all of you guys for another 50 episodes, starting with one in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Good night.